Hello, everybody. Uh, I wanted to do the rundown on Bonk Fu. Uh, this is a assassin rogue, pure 20, and I think it's a drow. Opening up the character sheet, yeah, we're drow, elf. Uh, Sole intent on this character was I had run rogue, I don't know, a number of years ago on on another character, and because I liked playing it so much, I just decided, well, let's go run an assassin 3 lives and just park it because I did not want to. I didn't want to follow through with doing multiple TRs or anything like that. So Bonk Fu only has 5 lives, rogue, and that's pretty much where it's gonna stay. I might I might reincarnate maybe one more time as a different character or a different race. But this character is just so much fun for me to play. And there's a number of other, there's a number of other characters, classes that I really liked playing. So on my roster, I have sort of run guinea pigs on my main and then tested out the build and then thought, well, all right, then that would be something that's competent to go do again on a lesser and just keep it up there to have fun and get gear and be able to play with other people. So that's the thing. Uh, Bonk Fu's 3 lives were all rogue, and so I guess we'll just go through the starter stats on this. This is an intelligence based rogue. Now, on a couple of the other lies, I did delve into the dexterity side of things, and you can do dex to damage with your weapons. Uh, and I'm not gonna sit here and slight any of the any of the versions of Rogue that come up. I just I went into intelligence based for the assassinate as your primary way to kill stuff in the game and to be able to search and disable high end traps later in the game. Open lock uh, for the rogue is a dexterity based uh, skill. Search and disable are both intel based. So is something that I didn't personally enjoy about being more dex based was the trap dice checks for high end content are harder. Uh, and on some of them, I was having problems uh, being able to disable or find those traps. Now, if those are my two primary goals, be able to assassinate stuff uh, and do traps. I went intel on this one. Doesn't mean the other way is wrong. I'm not gonna slight any of the other build choices. So here we go. Uh, Dexterity started at the base 10 for Drow, knowing that later on everything's going to be based on intel, and then the secondary choice would be Constitution, just for hit points, some survivability, I guess. Later on, try the Reaper content 1 to 3. I'm willing to go try the other content on that, but I have to be very precise in my game, and I don't like to be precise in DDO. I like to have variables, I guess. Well, that's just me. Intel started at the 20 possible for the draw. I know it says base 27 on there. Wisdom is the most beneficial two things from wisdom for any rogue are the spot if you need it and heal. Charisma is also beneficial to an extent to help your UMD out. To get so many skill points as a rogue intel based to spend, it's you're gonna be raising your UMD along the way anyway as you level up. Strength, pretty much a dump stat. Started with the 8. Let's in the levels 1 through 3. Don't burden yourself. Go sell between quests. And Bonk Fu is the beneficiary of +6 tomes. Um, I don't have the +8 like the cool kids or whatever. I don't have all the bells and whistles maxed out. I don't, my skills. I did get tomes in the last whatever couple of years, and some of my major skills for being a rogue have been boosted by the tomes. For disable is a +4 tome. For search, open lock, I think too. Hide and sneak, because if I was going to be an assassin, it's important to be able to hide and sneak. What does that say? No tomes on hide. Base ability, feats, effects. No tomes on hide. Sorry. Where's my move silently? Move silently has a tome. So if I'm still in the game in sneak mode, I'm not at my most beneficial point there. 120. And then keep in mind if you did do a dex based uh, rogue or put more points into the dexterity, you would gain more out of these two. They are dex based skills. I've made it up to 120 on the hide. I think that's without a greater heroism, and I will do a scroll here. I only have 7 scrolls down here. So I think that's probably my maximum, unless I do Sneak of Shadows. Past Life Rogue. And there you go. The hide goes up to 154. The move silently 156. It's pretty sneaky for a short time. Only whatever the time duration on the rogue past life. Um, this disabled device is low at 30 right now because I've been swapping out a a ring. Um, if I know that traps are coming, I flip over to the key lock ring from Barovia. This ring, the Ring of the Silver Tongue, I just recently picked it up, and it's specifically designed for assassinate skills. I believe it to be the highest in the game right now. Uh, Assassinate 9 and Insightful Assassinate +4. Like if I know that I have to kill stuff, in killer mode, I am flipping over. If I know that I have to disable, I'm going back to the legendary key lock ring for the search and spot base 22 and disable 22 and open lock 22. It's a must have. It's also a part of the mist set, so we'll get into that a little later about what, I guess end gear should be or what you would be wearing or whatever your choices are. UMD is coming at 55. I have an inherent +2 tome on it, and it's well enough to do uh, red scrolls, the big ones, half, and heal. I'd like to keep those down there to help out other party members if they need stuff. I used to stock restoration too, but I haven't recently. It seems like everybody has been way more self-supportive during the now that our server is a little bit more mature, I guess, in the amount of past lives people got and whatever else. So that's a stat rundown, I think. Showing a good reflex save. This is based off of insightful reflexes. I did take the feat to get that up uh, to a substantial level. The two bad ones for me are will saves and fortitude. This 55 and 35 respectively are, I mean, it's your downfall if you're doing high difficulty level things. You could get held. Slippery mind, I do have. AC, yeah, I don't know. I could try to max out dodge bonus too on something. It's only a 20% out of a possible 34. But that's how we arrived at that number 101. Hit points are are being boosted by defensive fighting. Because I'm a dual wielder, I'm getting extra hit points off of that to push to 14, 15 base. Skills I went through, feats taken, epic feats are the legendary feat is a sky into the astral plane for another +4 to the tactical feat and assassinate DCs as well as 4% to the um, some other things there, dodge cap, reflex, and double strike. The martial sphere, I did take first blood. What did I do out of the primal sphere? Perfect two weapon fighting. I did take blinding speed on this, uh, even though this character is fortunate to have a set of the goggles of time sensing epic to use. You know, I don't know if I would have taken something else here, maybe Pierce adamantine or something. I don't know. Uh, I did take epic toughness and overwhelming critical. The past life feats on this are only, again, like I said, just rogue, 3 times rogue. Maybe this is only the fourth life for Blanc Fu. So I did take the Sneak of Shadows as I leveled up. You know, you gotta burn a feat to take a past life. What's it? Special feats? Who cares? Basic feats. Nope. Not looking in there. We are looking at this. Insightful reflexes. This means that you got to burn a feat, but then your reflex save comes off of your intel instead of your dexterity. So I did it on this knowing that I was going to be intel based. If you were dex based, you ain't got to do that. You probably end up with an extra feat for something else that you like. Dodge, toughness twice. Evasion comes from the rogue, and improved evasion just comes from being a rogue. Martial feats. What is all this? Let's see. I did take power attack. And this is my offensive combat stance. Improve critical slashing, not pierce. It's another option too. If you wanted to play rogue, you could go pierce. What's interesting is if you do the other version of dexterity based, I'm going to click show unavailable as a little tip. Uh, there's another feat up here that's for dexterity based characters for their sneak attack. It's called improved sneak attack, and it will gain you another 3d6 sneak attack damage. Another 3 to 18 on top of whatever sneak attack you have. And again, because I was not dex based, I did not even dump points into it along the way. But this is viable. It's something cool for that version. I think I'll head over to the enhancement tree. And what does it look like here? The enhancement tree has been 50 in the assassin rogue, 7 for the drow elf. Harper free agent got 12, and falconry got 8. Now, if the intent was make an assassin that can do traps, you can see that I did not work up the poison strikes in the assassin tree. I didn't take the toxin affinity. I didn't take deadly strikes because this is from an assassin's mark. The shadow dagger is a thrown weapon, so didn't bother with that. We're going up close and killing somebody. And weakening strikes did not bother with this because we are not in there. This is viable. This tree It's kind of getting overworked by the Visanti knife fighter right now, and I did not make a build for this. I didn't even put any points into it because I am not using daggers or throwing knives. I am in. I'm using kukris. Now down here it says on the first assassin bottom tier thing, whatever the heck it is, you gain proficiency with kukris. And it says you can also use your dexterity modifier to hit with daggers or kukris, but we didn't even bother with that. We went beyond that to get it intel to damage too from the Harper tree. Strategic Combat 1. You can use your intelligence modifier to hit with melee and missile weapons, as well as hand wraps. Note, this ability does not apply to shields. That's to hit. This is for damage, Strategic Combat 2. Now you're using your intel modifier for those weapons. The only thing that you're gaining from this assassin tree down here is the proficiency with kukris. Otherwise, it's a martial proficiency. You can make a fighter that could use them. It's not exotic. So the minute that my dexterity is lower than my intel is when this kicks in. And it's been substantially lower. Almost the whole time. I think at level 6 or something, it was higher on the dex than it was on the intel just because I didn't have any gear. And I didn't have that tier thing filled out for the Harper tree either. So at low levels, yeah, sometimes it's hard to hit stuff. You're dumping your dex down to 10 base. I think I did have some enhancements in here that I worked it up a little bit higher. Maybe not. It says feats and enhancements. I don't know where it came from. I took intel on the draw side over here. The 7 points for Drow Elf were only to get up to keen senses and then to this only the first tier of nothing is hidden. This is an auto spot. You just go near stuff, but the drawback is I'm at a minus 12 search penalty on it because I'm only tier 1 out of 3. So as I go through and I am, playing a quest, the auto spot's going to work off of your search, not your spot. You see on this, nothing is hidden. It's performing a search check, not a spot. Spot's a different animal. It'll show you up at the top. You'll get a warning instead of just searching and finding it automatically. Now, the first rank's showing a minus 12 penalty from your search. So I am listed at a search of 117, so I'm still searching at 101. Or wait, let me do some math. 105 is what I'm searching at as I go without clicking on the search ability. Spot's pretty horrible. I'm sure I'll even go back to character sheet because wisdom was a dump stat, and I'm not even wearing any wisdom item. 19 plus 4. Uh, go to skills here. Who cares? And it's because It's only showing a spot at 87 with a +4 ability to them. I dump the wisdom because I know where most of the traps are located in this game, and because of being intel based, I'll rely on this to show me what's going on. That's just me. If I was starting up a rogue tomorrow morning, you might want to try a little bit of wisdom or get a spot item that helps out, so that, because 9 times out of 10, no new gamer is going to get told where these traps are, so it can be a little bit frightening. It was frightening for me first couple lives, learning where everything was, doing mental notes. All right. Uh, the next thing to go over here is the assassinatability. Fortunately, you get this at level 12, and it's an insta kill on living and now dead mobs, most of them. If it goes off, if you overcome the DC, it says DC 10 plus rogue level plus the higher of dexterity or intel modifier. Even on a successful save, target takes 10d6 additional sneak attack damage from this attack on top of your normal sneak attack damage. We'll go back to feats. I'm not going to show all available. I'm just going to try and find it in here, wherever the heck it would be, just to get this video length down. Am I blind? Are this at a combat feat? No. Two weapon fighting is. Basic feat? No. Sneak? Nope. Did I just totally miss it? Wow. Here it is, down at the bottom. Sneak attack is showing a 27d6 plus 3 base. So if you miss with that sneak attack, you're doing another, what, 10 it said? So in theory, you'd be doing 37d6 additional sneak attack damage from this attack. Big deal. I'm not relying on that sneak attack except for on bosses. If I if I have to do it, I don't play that way. It's not a front line. You're not going to be just just doing it. Like I'll sneak up and assassinate one or two if I get a double strike, and then because I'm out of sneak, I will keep swinging at another mob until my timer comes back for the assassinate skill. Drop back into sneak for a little bit, and then go hit him again with an assassinate. Threat reduction is a key. Uh, Shadow Training 3, and I don't even know what else is in there. Opening up the Epic Destinies. And I'm in the Shadow Dancer all the way. I don't have everything filled out on anything. I worked on the Sentinel a little bit because I knew that I was over on experience, uh, since I'm at 30 now. But Shadow Dancer all the way, for me. And then I think a guildie wanted to know about what all this looked like, and I don't even have Grim Precision taken all the way up to the third tier. So I think I'm only bypassing 5% enemy fortification and 1% enemy dodge rating. I went into the Shrouding Strike and then straight up to Shadow Form. And I like being in the Shadow Form. Gives you another 25% incorporeality. Gives you more charges for what's going on. Uh, deal strength damage on all melee and range critical hits. So you could do that range if you wanted to. There's a version here for a dexterity based executioner strike shot. So because I was intel, I did not delve into this. You gotta be careful here. It says accident executioner strike shot. A ranged character could do this if they were dex based. You see, it says DC 7. They lowered the base DC by 3, plus character level, plus dexterity modifier, but they added the shadow charges that you have onto it. Okay, it says, but it's a 35% chance to kill a living target instantly. It's not close to 50, but it's not so bad as a 10% chance. So there's an option if you also want to do that. But remember, the nice thing about being an assassin is they have this base assassinate ability that is either or, dex or intel. It didn't used to be this way in DDO, but now it is. So I'm not slighting either build. I just kind of went back to the old school kukri user. Um, Another interesting thing about the Epic Destiny for Shadow Dancer is there's like never enough points to do both these at the same time. Consume is almost like a EIN effect from the monk for a whole room. As long as they're not incorporeal enemies like race or scepters or uh, anything like that. But this one specifically is based on intelligence modifier. There is no option for a dex based to take this. So just be aware of it. I messed around on this on One Life. It's pretty awesome. I instead have the shadow manipulation. Um, and I use this on uh, Reapers pretty effectively. And again, it's not a there's no option for this for a dex based character. So it's another reason for me to make it more burn the feet for insightful reflexes, get into the Harper tree for insightful damage, and do either one of these two that I pick insightful. And maybe not go into shadow form. So just something to think about. I'm not knocking any of the things in here. Shadow Dancer has been one of my favorites. Good times. Working that sneak attack up on the assassin as high as you can get. It's also cool to build that to steal some from the thief acrobat for faster movement, but I didn't have points this time. I burned that 8 points over here in the falcon tree because they're granting another +3 to assassinate DCs with watch the center. So this time I went over here. And here's your wisdom to damage. I'm not in that. Oh, no. No. Didn't work it all the way up. Maybe I could get another point out of here. Who knows? Get something right here. Choose an ability to improve yet. Take more intelligence. In terms of gear, still wearing some old pieces. Wearing the dragon mask just because I like uh, the deadly and the deception, insightful deception. And dark diversion, I have it on, but I had to get those two gems out of there for something different, and I haven't decided what. The 22 for sneak and hide is coming off the shadow hail cloak right now. And I think if I do get the Strahd cloak, the invisible cloak of Strahd, uh, then it'll still be a necessity to wear a dark diversion for the hide and move silently. Occultation uh, decrease the threat generated by 20%, so that's not bad. The the key lock ring is what I have slotted, but like I said, when I go into death mode, it's got to be the ring of the silver tongue. The DCs on that while sneaking have come up to 98. I drink a pot of the essence of cunning from Shavarath. That gets me to a 99. That's my maximum right now. So here's Sweet Scent coming over to say hi. Hey, buddy. Um, it's tough. Occultation and this dark diversion here only raise your assassinate to an 8. And on the higher difficulty, you want to be at the, maximum possible that you can get to for assassinate. So I also was flipping over to a cheesy pair for the insightful +2 murderous. 94 uh, was my maximum on this, but this is obsolete now. I can get this out of my inventory at hotbar. And again, switching off when I know that there's something coming up or traps are on the way. Intelligence at 19 from these accolades lenses. I think you can also get it off a cloak. Just because of my gear alignment, I'm forced to wear that. This is giving me the crumpling gloves are giving me a quality intel +4. All in on intel, definitely. It's a definite. Very smart character. My max stats have ended up at 80. Now, again, I don't have a +8 tome. That'd be another DC to hit me to 100. Get to 100 on your assassinate, and it would help your search. You can see I swapped over that ring, and my search drops down to 96. So I think that's it for my big video. The other available option is Bonk Fu only has 2 slots done on Sentient Gem. So with 4 pieces and this thing filled out, I will get another 2 to the DCs of my assassinate. That should push you over 100. Really tweaking those last couple points to get up over 100. And I think that's it. The Echo of Ravenkind is my con item. This also has improved deception on it also. Didn't fill in the slots at all. I didn't get the armor. I didn't get the light armor yet. Um, from Barovia, I'm wearing a Disciple of Dawn, which is, I thought it was more for like a monk, but it's a part of the Silent Avenger set. It's a good idea on your rogue. If you are doing an assassin or whatever, is to get that double strike up. Showing my double strike at 49.71, really close to half. I have three double strike past lives from the Marshall tier. That's a 9% of it right there. So on what my fourth life tune, I've made it to 49.71. It's good when you assassinate. Apparently the double hit is based on that. Uh, what was the last thing? Might do a video of sneaking around through a quest here soon, but I wanted to keep this one short. And Bonk Fu is going to stay at 30 for an eternity. Thank you for the fun. Thank you for the rundown. Thanks for watching the vid. Have a nice evening.